Well, I have had some student contributions in some ways to expressing their views about the impact of people coming from outside, the refugees, asylum seekers, coming on to, and being a burden on our National Health Service, on our schools, those sort of things they've said in our seminar discussions. And I think that alerted me to the fact that there must have been some things going around on the campus, which have brought up these issues, which encouraged people to actually speak their mind on these things in classroom discussions. Nothing to do with the topic in hand, but they were just saying these things. I'm a social scientist, I'm a psychologist, and they were bringing up those things in some tenuous way linked to the discussions we were having, and the contributions were disturbing me, and I think it must have disturbed other members. The thing is that I expressed these things once or twice in our branch meeting, and there's very few, other than the usual people who were committed to discrimination at work and on campuses. Others just listened, really, didn't do much about it, or encouraged us to or suggest ways to combat this.
There has definitely been a growth of far-right activism across campuses. So I'm at Loughborough University, and before this I was at University of Southampton. I still actually remember in 2016, just after the Brexit vote, I was walking back, and there was a group of students who was walking, and the first thing they said, without even knowing that I was a lecturer there, oh, I thought we got rid of people like you after this vote. And that was probably the first time I faced that kind of an overt racism somewhere near campus. Far-right activity definitely does impact on me and on my students. So I actually wear two hats. So I'm a lecturer, and I'm also a Labour Party councillor in my local council, which is Newham in East London. One of the things that I've seen is people are more scared, especially for BME people. I think with everything that's happening globally, I think it's also had a very local impact on it. So I know my students, many of them who are Chinese, have just come into this country, and they've told me where they've been walking in Stratford in the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park, and they've said that they've been stopped and they've been spat at, and this has been just a couple of months ago, and I was pretty shocked when I heard that this is happening in what is considered one of the most diverse areas of this country. So it's these kinds of things are happening, and I think more and more people need to be speaking about it, because one of the things that we've seen is that it's not just the growth of the far right, it's the far right working with the respectable right, and that's kind of given them some kind of a credence in public imagination.